G'day. This week I've got a job for you. Now I've gone to, rather than just go from Sydney all the way up, I've decided to call into some beachy places which I thought you might appreciate. And I've taken a different taste of each one of them. So there's 6 different campsites I've stayed at. First one was Crescent Head. Now rather than stay at the National Park, I stayed at a proper caravan park. I then went to 3 in Southwest Rocks. That was Smoky Cape, Trial Bay and Horseshoe Bay. And then I got down to Hat Head and I went into the Hat Head proper caravan park, and I almost got to the national park, but I didn't get there. But I certainly saw what it was like and I could make some sort of a value judgment. So I'll tell you what I thought about it, and if you can tell me on the comments below if you've been there before or what's important to you or what's not important to you. Sometimes it's price, sometimes it's amenities, sometimes it's all for nothing. Anywho, let's go.
Just left Moorland and now headed for Port Macquarie and then Crescent Head.
This is a road less travelled. Instead of the highway to Port, I'm going via Kew and Laurelton. Headed towards Crescent Head.
Your destination is on the right. I want to give you first impressions of this place. So I'm in Crescent Head, and this is about as back to nature as you get. So it's very kind of, well, I would say hippie. No offence to hippies, that's a compliment. Very hippie. It's very cross between a rainforest and a beachy kind of, hard to describe, but it's really out there. And here's one of the most amazing things. Because national parks have now become so expensive, $24.60 for every national park in New South Wales, plus $8 to get in, unless you have a yearly pass. It's cheaper sometimes to stay at these. This is a proper caravan park. Anyway, I'm starting to dribble as always. It is really, really nice. I've got my own spot. It was a bit tricky getting in, so if you're making a note of this place, number 31, 32 and 33, they're all pretty good. I'm in 31, and I did, it was a challenge to get in with the manoeuvring all the length of the caravan and the car, and the lady said, oh, it could be a bit tricky on the corner. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're talking inches. Anywho, yeah, it's really lovely, and I'm not sure if you can hear in the background, that's the surf. So I'm going to take you down to the beach now, and someone's kindly left me a fire going in the fire pit. So tonight I'll have a little sing-a-song with all my friends. That'd be alone, never mind. But I'll go and enjoy the fire tonight. So I've kept it going with a couple of logs, and later on I'll check it out. But it is safe, it's in a proper contained area. So let's go and check out the beach. Good morning, top of the morning to you. I'm still in Crescent Head, which is about, the actual camp I'm in, it's about 10 kilometres from the main town. But it's a beautiful drive out. You're actually driving through beautiful countryside, a lot of forest, and this campsite is totally in forest. So if you're into, listen to all that, if you're into nature and nature sounds and all that sort of thing, this is the place to come. It's one of my most enjoyable in the sense of I've actually spent an hour at a time, especially in the morning or just on evening. In the morning, I know it's spring, but the birds come out and they just have a little chirp. There's that guy. Now that's the eastern whipbird. I know that because I got an app, and the app is called, name down here, can't remember what it is, but it's great. What you can do is you can record it and then submit it, and they'll come back with an answer and say probably this. The other day I did one on the raven, that was quite good, and on the Australian magpie. And yesterday I saw some absolutely beautiful fairy wrens, splendid fairy wren, that's what I saw. Just fantastic. So again, if you're into it, this is the place. The particular spot I got, the lady Arlene at the reception popped me in this spot, and it's probably the ideal spot for me because I wanted full sun at all times so I could get some charge on those into the batteries from the solar panels. So and it's number 31. It's great. There's birds everywhere. I mean, I know you've got the beach there, but I just wanted to stay here and just check it all out. So might be a great place to come. Got to be self-contained, I think. I'm not sure. But you've got hot showers, no drinking water. I don't believe you do. And yeah, it's actually cheaper to stay here than it is across the road in the national park. Go figure. Here I am at Southwest Rocks. The area here is absolutely outstanding. Now I've got one night on this absolute treasure area to stay. You're actually right on the beach, you're overlooking the sunset, which I'm sure will be fantastic. And also, if on a good day, you can actually see the whales coming past. Worst case, you might have to walk 150 metres for another vantage point and still see the whales this time of the year. So yeah, it's just got so much to offer. It also raises the question, like, the more people I tell, the more people come, the less chance you've got of staying here. But if I don't tell you, someone else is going to tell you anyway. So there you have it.
So over this side you've got the breakwater, which protects this little bay, which is lovely if you wanted to go paddle boarding or just having the kids have a bit of a swim, or gentle beginning surfing. On the other side of this little area is the jail, the old jail. So that's quite a tourist spot to go in and check that out. Even if you don't go there, stand in the car park and you get a better vantage point of seeing the whales as they're coming through. This time of the year, you do tend to see a fair few. It doesn't happen in the morning or at lunch or afternoon, it just happens when they're passing by. Now up here in the car park, you might feel as though you're closer to the whales as they're coming past. Obviously you're not, but it makes you feel as though you're a little bit closer and you have a better vantage point. So now you can go out and you see the little sprays as they blow their spout, so to speak, or when they flip their tails up and splash the tail on the water. That's fantastic to see that as well. Good morning and top of the morning as usual. I'm just out of Southwest Rocks. I'm in Smoky Cape. So the lighthouse is just over there, I think. And this is a bush camp. So quite reasonable in its cost, which is great. Looks like it does have toilet facilities. Obviously no showers, no running water, etc. But you are very much back to nature. And first impressions, it looks pretty good. You might want to consider mozzies and bugs because I'd imagine they're probably reasonably bad here. But definitely keep the caravan door, if you've got a caravan, keep that closed as often as you can. But yeah, it still feels pretty good. Beautiful day here. And just over there by about probably 200 metres is the ocean. So I'll check that out later on. As usual, fairly windswept. Where's the makeup artist when I need them? This is no Hollywood production, that's for sure. Probably already worked that out. Okay, I've just been down to the beach. Pretty windy, and I saw one person driving on the beach. Not sure whether they had a permit. They did look a little bit, suspicious. Not my problem. And I just showed you a picture of looking up at the lighthouse from the beach. So that's definitely, I have to go and check that out. And already, it is Friday night, already there's quite a few people camped up here, so should be a nice weekend for everyone. Check these guys out, they're goannas. They're pretty harmless, but there's actually two of them. I might not be able to get the second. It's pretty unlikely he's going to attack me unless he feels I'm on top of him. A bit hard for me to describe just how big he is. He's probably, I guess, 1.5 metres, and in the background you can see the other guy there as well. As I say, pretty unlikely he'll attack unless I get too close and he feels as though I'm on top of him. Now he's found something of that old toilet paper, and as far as he's concerned there might be food in there. The biggest thing with these animals is you've got to be careful if they scratch you because they have underneath their fingernails, you can get rabies if you get infected with them, which is never a good start for your holiday. Now I'm just walking back to the caravan, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Underneath the caravan is another one, sneaking around there looking for scraps of food. Let's go and have a look. Not sure who gets the biggest fright, him or me. I do have a bucket out there for water. Hopefully it's one of those and not a snake. I'm sure I saw one. Must be losing the plot. I'm creeping around underneath the caravan and I've just found him. I think he's even bigger than the other one. So look at him. By the way, they can run pretty fast. I'm going to do the coward thing and climb up on the table. And there he goes. Oh, and they can run up trees if required. I know it's almost dark and it's probably a bit hard to see me. That's not a bad thing. Just wanted to show you this. It's Southwest Rocks Lighthouse, and as you can see it's just on dusk, getting darker by the minute. This is a fully functioning lighthouse, and you can, well, you can't see it at the moment, I will show you later on, but it's just going the old whoosh, whoosh to warn ships. It's also great up here at the moment as the sun's setting. I'll try and grab that sunset if I can, but it's great because there's lots of, quite a handful of whales out there that are breaching, but again, dark, I can't really show you. I can just see the big splashes and they're big. So I'll try and get that during the day. Anyhow, I just want to go up and check out that lighthouse. Let's go. Good morning, top of the morning to you. Not sure why I'm whispering, but there's definitely no one else around here. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. Thought you'd enjoy seeing the sunrise. I'm in Southwest Rocks, standing right next to the lighthouse, which is pretty spectacular. Can't really show you any footage because it's all well cocooned so that the bright lights actually don't flood down onto our area or across into the hillside. So enjoy the sunrise. Good morning, TOM, that's acronym for top of the morning in case it's getting a bit too much. Now I'm just about to leave this exciting place. I say it's exciting because you've got the beach driving you can do just over there, You've got the surf if you want to go out there and jump in the water, or you've also got the fishing. And for walks, you've got all sorts of walks around the area. You can walk up to the lighthouse, that's always exciting. And yeah, maybe you'll get some wild animals come to your camp if you don't need that. And the value on it is really, really good. So I'm just about to head off today, head off to a bit of luxury. I'm going into the proper caravan park in Southwest Rocks. It's pretty hard to get into, certainly during or at the beginning of school holidays, but I managed to get in for a couple of nights, which is good. And so I'll take you there and we'll check that out. Definitely one of the contenders for all the best beaches in this little section. It's called Horseshoe Bay, and it's just down from the caravan park. It really is quite beautiful. So you can wander down here, you can see a handful of people here already. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, big sleep in. But yeah, it's quite safe for kids, or relatively safe for kids. Just probably don't swim out beyond the rocks, and obviously this tide comes in. The water's reasonably shallow, lots of fun for kids and family and all that sort of stuff. And round that corner, good for fishing, and round that corner, probably good for surfing. So not a bad place. I'm at Hat Head Caravan Park. This is my first impressions. Feels good, very tidy, well organised. I've got to say that you get a different feel depending on which particular caravan site you get. You get kind of flung out the back, probably not so exciting. My fault, because I did book it and I should have had a proper look, but I didn't know of the layout. But I initially was camped right next to where they clean the fish. So watch out for that if you're booking online, and watch out if you're right next to the dump point, because you can have a lot of people there and it's probably can occasionally have that aroma, not too great. But yeah, really, really nice. It's got a great little beach here. I'm pretty sure this is a river comes in off the ocean, but it's good because you can take your little babies, absolute babies, and have a bit of a swim, a bit of a splash there. And if you want to do a sunbake also, if that's the thing you're still doing these days, but certainly looks like there's a handful of young ladies out there basking in the sun. So yeah, all up, Hat Head feels pretty good. Well, there you have it. Now, this is just my opinion of the top. First of all, I reckon the national parks were sort of out there. They had a bit of a sting in the tail of that, because apart from paying for your fees to privilege of staying in a national park that you kind of own, I won't get into the politics of that, but apart from that, you also have to pay $8 a day for being in a national park. So typically most national parks in New South Wales at the moment are about $24.60 a night, and you add on top of that the $8 a day. Yes, I know you can get annual tickets, it's you're still paying for it. But even so, because I was only paying for one person, I thought the best one was Smoky Cape. Now, I liked it for these reasons. First of all, it was close to the lighthouse, and that was a nice little day trip. It was close to some nice walks, bush walks around it. It was actually stuck in a rainforest, which was awesome. The price was pretty low, and I do have an annual pass. And also, you can go out and you can do the surfing, you can do the fishing, you can do the driving on the sands on the beach. So, and you've got nature, those goannas. So that was in that sense. The most luxurious and kind of had everything, but it's a little bit like any good caravan park in Australia, was Horseshoe Bay. Now, Horseshoe Bay was lovely, but again, being caravan parks and being a business, they try and cram in as many people as they can, so it's sometimes a bit tough to get your caravan in. And also the people that tend to be in caravan parks are slightly different to those who are just on the road, just going to various low-cost campsites. I know I'm going on. And finally, the most romantic, now I'm not talking about lovey-dovey and all that romantic, but just kind of had it all in the sense of beautiful view, was in a great surrounds, the price, debatable, but it kind of had all of that. You saw the sunset, you were with like-minded people, you had the kangaroos around you, you could go out, take your kids out for a little swim, or you have a little bit of a swim yourself, or you could pop the boat in at the boat ramp there and go out and do some fishing, kind of. So that kind of had it all as well. So I guess I didn't really say which was the best of all of them, but I did choose 3 out of the 6, so the other guys got the boot a bit. Anywho, that was just my opinion. So if you found the video useful, helpful and or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, today would be a great day. If you think the video is worth sharing, please do. And until next time, this is 4 Wheel Drive, signing off.